Hello angels, welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to be making a beaded embroidery keychain. Okay, so on the screen right here I'm just listing out everything that we're going to be using in this video. Everything can basically be found at Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Marshall, Joann's, yeah. So I drew my image out on some transfer paper that is easily washable. So with the paper, once you finish with your embroidery, you just wash it off with some water. That's basically all it is. So I have a donut, a pizza, and a hot dog. I thought that they would be super cute for a keychain since I've never embroidered any type of food before. So this is something new. And I was supposed to do the pizza on the beach bag, but I end up just deciding to go with something else. So I was like, oh, this will look super cute as a keychain. So I'm just removing the sticker, stick it on there, stick it onto the fabric. This is the exact same fabric that I used for when I was making a resin top. I'm just reusing stuff that I have at home instead of having to order stuff out because I have like a ton of stuff here already that I'm just trying to get rid of. So put the embroidery hoop around the fabric, place the image on top, and that's basically it. And obviously I had to get something to eat first before I started sewing down these very, very tiny little beads for the donut. Basically this thing takes a lot of beads, different colors, different shapes, different sizes, so perfect. I am doing the donut first. I always do the outline whenever I'm doing any of these. All you do is just place the beads onto the needle and thread, and then you just sew it down. You can either sew down every single bead or every other bead. For the little tiny beads, I did every other beads, and I did it sometime for the big beads as well. But it kind of does make it bulky, so it just makes sense to sew down every single bead, so that everything can just be laying down there flat, nothing is sticking out. But for some weird reason, even though I match it up the beads onto the image, I still, for some weird reason, I always have like one or two beads over. And I don't want to have to redo everything and then place the beads back on there to sew down everything, so I just let it be. That's why at the corners, if you look very closely at my corners, you can see that there's a bead that's just bulking up that I was unable to sew down because that is just an extra bead. So for the little icing, I went in with this chrome bead. It looks so pretty on camera already. It's pink, it's transparent, it looks so cute. I don't know why I'm using gray thread on white fabric, but eventually, I think when I was doing the hot dog, I ran out of the gray thread, so I ended up just using the white one. Don't know why I wasn't doing that at first, but you know, it is what it is. Just sewing down. And I'm just showing you guys how it looks the beads look onto the threads. This is like the tiniest beads that the tiniest needle that I have, because this specific needle that I'm using is the only one that can hold the size of that little tiny beads. And also these long beads as well, so I never have to like switch out my needles, which is absolutely perfect. So now I'm sewing down there the long beads. I don't know what these beads are called. Probably spaghetti. And you see how I'm just making sure that the beads is not moving around. Because once you sew it down, you push your needle through the beads and then sew it down again so that it doesn't move around, it doesn't shift, it just stays in place. And I'm getting something to eat as well, because even though it doesn't look like I'm making any progress, this took a good minute. So now it's time to fill in the donuts. So I'm just trying to find which pink I wanted to use. I went with this bubblegum pink, which it looks so cute since we're going to be doing a sprinkle donut. Just layering the beads onto the thread and then just split the thread in half and then just sew it down. And just keep on doing that until you completely finish. I'm just working in sections. You can still see the little beads that are supposed to be sprinkles. It looks so adorable. It looks so good. This is in the night because obviously, I don't know, maybe I sew way too slow. Maybe I need to stop watching those Chinese short dramas. Maybe I just need to stay focused, but these things take a good minute to finish, even though these little images. And obviously, I like to take my break in between and eat. Eat. I wasn't even showing you guys everything that I was eating, but yeah. This is where I'm like, oh, this looks so good. Starting out so perfect. But the bubblegum beads, I ran out of it, so I had to switch it up with some different beads. So I went in with this watercolor light pink bead. And for the back, I was thinking about doing the foam sheets, because after I cut out the image from the fabric, I'm going to need to sew it down onto something. So, yeah. Had to go in with different beads. I still probably went in with like, you know what, it's fine. The beads look great together. Everything looks good. Now it's time for the pizza. The pizza, we're going to be using 3 different colors. We're going to be going in with some red, some gold, and then some green. And I think that's basically like all of the colors that we're going to be using. So around the corner of the pizza, we're going in with these long beads. They're gold. They look so pretty. It just makes it look more realistic. With these long beads, you cannot sew down like every other beads. Is like every bead you got to sew down in between each and every one of them, because it's going to be shifting around. On one of these, I completely missed one of the beads. I didn't sew it down. When I finish the corner, you guys want to see how it looks. It was sticking out and it was broken, so I had to go back over it and sew it down. So for the crust, or in the center of the crust basically, I went in with these jumbo gold beads, and I think it looks pretty good, because I knew for a fact that these little long beads, I was not going to have enough for around the edge, and then for the center, and then for the middle as well, because obviously you got to sew it down to make it look full with the beads, so that nothing looks blank basically. I think these big beads, I sewed down every single one. Yes, I did. Just normal sewing, and that's pretty much it. The beads gonna be shifting around. Sometimes, like when I do this, after I place the beads on there, I sew down in the middle so the beads will not be moving around, so that when I'm sewing down, I don't have to be shifting it, make sure I set in place. But yeah, it's like some days. And this one, look, it looks if it's like the perfect amount of beads that I place on there. Wrong, because there's going to be 2 beads that's going to be sticking out at the corner. Shame. So now I'm going in with the pepperoni. It's supposed to be mushrooms, but it's not going to look like no mushrooms. And the green is for the pepper. These are supposed to be red, but when I put it out in the sun, I was like, these beads look very orange. Yep, it was orange. It was too late to change it, so it's just going to have to be how it is. And then I started on the hot dog as well. And as always, I ran out of the gold bead for the hot dog. So I had to go in with different type of beads, different type of gold beads. But it still looks good. And it's not that obvious. So it's time now to fill in the pizza. I was debating which color gold to go with. I thought this would work great, but I was like, let me do the hot dog first, just to see how much of the gold I have, to see if I need to substitute anything else. So I didn't finish the pizza that night. I started on the hot dog and decided to go with these 3 colors, going in with some red and some gold. I thought that this looked yellowish, but it wasn't the correct type of yellow for the honey mustard, so I just went in with this one, and it looks pretty good. Doing the outline and then filling it in. I got some clams from Amazon for keychain making. I filled it out. It looks gorgeous, but obviously you can see that I ran out of beads, so some spots have like it's very obvious I did not have enough beads. These little beads in the bag, they ran out way too quickly, or I'm just using way too much. I can't really decide. So now it's time for the pizza. I'm going in with this yellowish type of color for the crust. It looks pretty good. I'm going to sew down every single one. I honestly thought that I would not have enough. I'm going to show you guys how much I had, because these are the same beads that I've used for like 5 or 6 different bags, different stuff. These little beads right here. It doesn't look like if it's enough, but trust me, it was perfect amount. I was able to finish it up perfectly, and there was like no beads left over, which was gorgeous. Look at it. Finally filled in with the beads, and it looks so good. The pizza is my favorite, and then you have the donut, and then unfortunately the hot dog is there. I should probably did an ice cream, but you know, we're just trying it out to see how it would look. It looks pretty good. Everything looks good. It just looks so good. The pizza looks so good. So happy, so excited. So now we gotta remove the embroidery hoop and then cut out the image from the fabric and then wash it off with some water. So I got my scissors. And I'm showing you guys how the back looks with the, what do you call it, with the threads. Somebody always asks how the back looks whenever I do one of these, especially with my purses or the swimsuit. I think it looks pretty neat. If I shall say it, if I do say so myself, it does look pretty neat. I'm gonna need these hoops for something else, so gotta make sure I'm not losing no pieces. And this is just how it's looking. It's looking gorgeous. This fabric is so thin. I'm cutting out the fabric, not the exact same size because I don't want to accidentally cut any of the beads. So I'm just cutting like a little bit extra fabric. That's the donuts. Time for the pizza. Pizza. And the back of the pizza looking good. And this is the last one, the hot dog. The different color beads and different size beads doesn't look that bad. Looking at it from this angle, looks good. And you can see all of the bags that I've made so far in the back. I need to make little keychains for those, but I wanted to try out embroidering some food first before I do any accessories for the bags. So this foam fabric, I'm just trying to figure out which color would work best for everything. The only thing that I feel like if I messed up with was the pizza. I decided to go with the green. I should have went with the brown. The brown would have looked so good. Even though I try to cut out the foam as best as I possibly can, you can still see that it's green at the back. Everything else just looks perfect. So now I'm washing off the disposable paper. You just let it run underneath water for a few minutes and it's going to be completely disappeared. Obviously, I cut a lot of fabric, so I'm going to go around the edge with my scissors and just cut off the extra fabric. And that's pretty much it. And obviously, I got to let this sit and dry before I can sew it down. Well, I'm not sewing it down. I'm gluing it down. This is in the morning. I just have it sitting out by the sun so the back of it could dry completely. Once that's done, I'm using my E6000 glue, a lot of glue. E6000 glue and the B7000 glue, just adding a lot around the edge, the corners, the center, and then just stick it onto the foam fabric, the foam sheet, and then add a lot of pressure on there. I just put some heavy stuff on top so that it could be sitting right, so that it's not moving around or shifting. Did the exact same thing with the pizza. Pizza, bad idea. Should have went with the brown instead of the green. But it still looks good. After everything is dried, it's just going to take like a few hours. After it's completely dried, then just use your scissors to cut around the edge. And that's pretty much it. And time for the hot dog. The hot dog with the red looks so good. These are the claws that I got from Amazon. I put it together. And I got this giant clam claw. I think that's what you call it. It was just laying around in the house. I realized I needed something to attach it with. Simple. Just poke a hole in the corner. And then just stick everything together. And voila. You got a cute little keychain. Show you guys how it looks in the sun. You see with the pizza, you can see the green. Everything else you can't really see. Tomatoes. The donut looks so good, especially with the back. So gorgeous. And I'm going to show you guys how it looks on a bag. I just put all of them on the bag at the same time and just show you guys how it looks one by one. It looks gorgeous. She looks pretty. Everything looks so good. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. It just looks so amazing. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, because this bag I'm going to be embroidering with something. I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but you guys don't have to come back to see. Bye guys.